Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you all for joining me today. So in this video we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Jersey is one of my favorite shows to watch, and it's very sad to see that they are not filming. People have been talking about it a lot lately. It's pretty much a hot topic. So many of us were waiting to find out when they're going to start filming, when the possibility is coming for us to see Teresa and the whole cast once again, or the possibility of that. So last I heard, there was some news that it would possibly be pushed forward until 2026, until they would make that decision. But most recently, they're talking about the new show or shows that have been cast to come out. And specifically, the new one is The Real Housewives of Rhode Island. And so that is kind of very close to New Jersey. And it seems that the cast they've chosen are also very similar to The Real Housewives of New Jersey. The same type of cast, the same type of personalities, but they are much younger. And so therefore, there's the possibility for them to continue on for many, many years. But the question still remains, when are we going to get a chance to see The Real Housewives of New Jersey? That would include Teresa, possibly Dolores, Margaret. I don't know about Jennifer Aiden. I heard she was fired. We've got Joe Gorga and Melissa, who are the arch enemies of Teresa, and many others as well. But last I heard, that was undecided. Anyhow, there are no commitments. Nobody has been called back. If you ask me, there was a huge red flag, or you could say an indication of what was coming on the last episode. Now, if we go back, I'm sure you all remember what happened. We never did get the reunion when the ladies all get together and they sit down on those couches and they rehash everything. For some reason, they decided not to do that, and they canceled that for the first time. We never got to see that. It just didn't happen. Instead, the ladies got together for, was it a luncheon or a dinner at the Rails restaurant. And they didn't join each other in the same room. Half of them were on one level in one room together, and the other group were in another area, or I think it was upstairs. One group was upstairs and the other was downstairs in two totally different rooms. And Dolores kind of said hello to both groups, but she ended up staying in one room. Anyhow, the point is that if you ask me, the reason why the producers did this is because they didn't want to waste any more money on this show. They didn't want to make any more financial investments into this cast of ladies because the ratings were way too low and it just wasn't worth it. So my opinion is that they were trying to cut their losses financially, and that's why they didn't go to the trouble of putting together the final show with the final costume, with the set, getting everything together, They just didn't want to bother. So basically, they cut their losses financially, and the ladies never got to have the reunion. And sometimes with the reunion, you have part 1, part 2, and then possibly part 3. And they've got to fly the ladies in. They've got to get their beautiful outfits together. They have a cast there to do the makeup. They set up the stage quite beautifully, depending on what they decide for that reunion. It's always quite beautiful, and it's always something new. And so I'm thinking that they decided to just cut their losses and not invest any more money into the Real Housewives of New Jersey, because they'd already decided, with all of the scandal that had come out about the gossip outside of the show from the members of the show orchestrating that, they decided not to continue on with the Real Housewives of New Jersey. And this is my opinion. I don't know this for a fact, but why else would they just not have a reunion for the first time? And now they are not calling the ladies back. By now, they would have been filming already. They would have been filming, let's say, back in November, or October. Oftentimes you get to see them when they have their pumpkins out for Halloween, for Thanksgiving, and then for Christmas. But I just think that there's a very good chance that the Real Housewives of New Jersey are not coming back. And then after that, from then, after the meetup at Rails, after that, we started to see that these cast members were doing different things which they'd never done before. So all of a sudden, we see that Teresa comes out with this whole new podcast, and she's really pushing that, as if she has to make something new. Also, they're starting to go off in other directions with different new shows. Like, for example, Dolores was on The Traitors, and I won't say what happened with that, but I did watch it, and I always loved Dolores. And it was kind of interesting to see how she acted on that show. And she's very bright, she's very intelligent, and she has a way of, I guess you could say, people call her Switzerland, but I just think she's very bright, and she doesn't want to get pulled into other people's problems. Anyhow, so what I was saying is that, the ladies are starting to go on to other shows, taking other opportunities. We saw right away that Teresa went on to the House of Villains. And I hear that now Melissa is going on to Wife Swap with Joe. So it just looks like they're not coming back. And it's kind of a shame, because it was a pretty big show. So I am kind of shocked. But those are my suspicions. And we know that Teresa's daughter, Gia, she's going to be having her own show as well, which is a new show. So there's quite a lot of new stuff which is going to be coming out. And that also goes together with the possibility that Real Housewives of New Jersey might not be coming back. So let me know what you all think about it. It's pretty sad to see, because they all had so much potential. And I know I have a few favorites of my own that I would like to see come back. For example, I really like Margaret. Teresa is a lot of fun because she's very dramatic. Danielle was always creating a lot of havoc, and that made for good television. There's so many favorites and awesome characters from the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and it's sad to think that we might not have them back. But I guess there are many possibilities, and they could figure something out so that we will see them again, hopefully. But anyhow, let me know what you all think. Do you think that that is the end of the Real Housewives of New Jersey? Or are the producers just waiting for some reason? Does it make sense for them to wait until 2026? I just can't figure out why. Why wait so long where people are going to look elsewhere for their entertainment? We're going to start watching other shows. You know, it's kind of just going to be after 2 years to the point where you really don't have that same attachment, you know, where you want to see the show, where you're counting on seeing it. It's like they're just waiting too long, and we're going to find other things to watch. We're going to find other series that we're going to be enjoying, and so the void will be filled with something else. In the course of 2 years, so much can happen. And so I find it very odd. But anyhow, let me know what you think down in the comments. My own opinion is that the decision was made not to sink any more money into the show when they decided not to make the investment into having the reunion, into bringing those ladies together, into putting any money into them, getting them a costume, all the dresses, all the makeup and everything else. And I think it has something to do with the ratings, that it just wasn't worth it to put anything else in financially for the profit that they were making. But who knows? I could be wrong. Anyhow, thank you so much for joining me today. Please remember to subscribe and share the video if you can. I look forward to seeing what you have to say. I'll be watching for your comments. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching.